Okay, hello and welcome to the first pool party stream for New Moon Cycle 5. So, I'm going to be starting the stream by quickly explaining what the format is and how it works. Okay, so New Moon is a weekly round robin tournament, and the way it works is that we can play matches throughout the week, so people that aren't able to fit in as one time for the tournament, they can play their matches anytime they want to. Um, so this format, pool party, is also a new format made by Shadow, which involves having a randomized chip pool made, and then throughout the week you can build your folder from these chips, and then you play against others who've done the same things throughout the week. So it's a very interesting format, and it has few extra rules to it. Like people only the main one is you only have your navicast as 5x5 space, which will explain why some of the builds we see. And the other main one is that you can only have 3 of a single chip, even if the MB allows it. So this will limit chips like panel grab or other things that could be in the pool that haven't been included. So the cycle for next week, the chip pool's already been released, so make sure to take a look at that and sign up. Sign-ups will end on Sunday 10 p.m. PST, so make sure to send in before that. Okay, so we're going to head on to the first game, which will be Symes vs Eeveecario. Okay, so looking at their setup, so I see Symes is running very interesting build, which is number open. So usually what number open does that it gives you 10 custom spaces instead of the 8 maximum that you can usually go with. So this changes things a lot because you start with a third of your folder in your hand, which explains some of the choices that Sam's made in his folder, like having three different PAs. Because with custom open he can go through the folder more quickly and allows him to find them more easily. But the main issue with this is that he's lacking in super armor, and if he decides to go into Dustcross, which is also a very strong search engine, then he will be stuck back at custom 5 instead of 8 or the full 10. So that's an important thing we'll have to watch out for. Well, on the other hand, looking at Uvu's build, Uvu is running Reflect and Folder Pack 1, which again, normally you don't really see them played that often, but in this format allows a lot more different things to be usable when they might not be otherwise. So that's the main information about the Navicasts. Looking at the folders, so Symes is running the 3 PAs, Cornshot, Fireburn, and Iron Shell, while also running 1 machine gun, Muramasa, and Embomber. So one thing that we'll see commonly between the folders is that a lot of them are running machine gun because of how strong it is normally and its ability to cross dust. But this pool also had a lot of synergy with M code, so a lot of people end up running with that. The pool also had recovery 300, barrier 100, which work together well, but there is also the anti-recovery and anti-sword. So again, this is something that we see very commonly people run, is that they have both anti-sword and anti-recovery. So with anti-recovery they can deny the opponent's recovery, but they also have the anti-sword in case they can bluff or try to use it early to deny something else from the opponent. Okay, so looking at Uvu's folder, Uvu also has the Fireburn PA, so it will be interesting to watch out for. 3 risky honeys, 2 summon blacks, and 3 cubes. Okay, so it looks like with 2 Elikman, Uvu is going for objects and then trying to get Alakman to deal a lot of damage with that. Uvu's also running uninstall, which I don't think Symes is running, yeah. So uninstall, so Symes doesn't really have anything that can be uninstalled, since Super Armor, which is one of the main things you'd want to uninstall, Symes doesn't run it. So uninstall is basically a dead chip for Uvu. But yeah, I think that's the main information. Let's head right into the game. Okay, so it looks like they're starting with Ice Field and Cubes, so they're both playing Falzar, so we will see if Uvu also decides to go into Dustcross. Uvu wasn't running any machine guns and Symes was only running one, so going into Dustcross turn 1 is going to be a pretty safe play, whereas normally you wouldn't want to do it as much. Okay, so it looks like Symes going for the 2x with boomers and trying to chip charge it. Oh, interesting. So he's going with Muramasa turn 1. So so the thing with taking Muramasa turn 1 is that to get the full value from it, Symes will have to take 500 damage, and that is half his HP. So that's a lot of HP to be expecting to take turn 1. And if he had more HP, then there would be a lot more buffer for that. Okay, so Uvu getting anger from the 2x boomer. Then paralyzed. Ooh, barely didn't get the bees in time. Yeah, so it looks like Symes is going to have to throw away the Muramasa. Ooh, and Symes already has the pieces for Corn Fiesta. Let's see. Okay, so he's deciding to play it safe and then going with anti-recovery to deny it from Uvu. Okay, so one thing with anti-recovery is that using Brawl will be able to remove the anti-recovery. Ah, looks like Uvu used it a bit too early, so we'll see if he has the recoveries afterwards. Okay, it looks like he doesn't. So you know it's G code. Symes was still flashing, so that ended up not hitting him. Okay. Anti-recovery coming out from Uvu, and yeah, that's one of the ways you can deal with anti-recovery, so you don't have to waste one of your actual recoveries and take basically 600 damage. Okay, so another thing with these falls is that there is no, other than barrier, there is no defense, so going for the Corn Fiesta is actually pretty safe to land as long as he can get in the range, which I believe the range is increased with area, so the chance to hit is increased with area. The further away the opponent, the less chance it hits, which might be why Sam's trying to play it safe and not going for them. Ooh, Sam's getting out the Groundman at the very end of turn, and he still has his anti-recovery up, so Uvu can't do much about that since he already used his roll. And now Symes going for the Corn Fiesta. Let's see if he manages to hit with it. I believe it does 40 per hit, so he wouldn't need that many hits for it to be basically game or close enough. Okay, Uvu's going into Tengu for the back B. Ooh, missing on the judgment. I was expecting Symes to move up, which he did now. Uninstall landing, and then Corn Fiesta. Let's see. And yeah, that was enough for game. Uvu was running undershirt, so that did put him at 1, and then took it for game. Okay. Oh, nice. So Symes already has all the pieces. He has 2 of them tagged, and having chips tagged increases the likelihood of you getting them early. so that's why we see him get them very early in these games. But obviously the custom 10 is very big. Okay, so Ubu deciding to go for Dust. Nice, getting the fire burn turn 1. Ooh, confused. That one, the area is less optimal. There is still a lot of hits, so that was good. But now Symes is going to be trapped with the broken panels. And he was... I don't think he was hit on grass, so I think that did, yeah, just the 300 damage. Okay, so it looks like Symes will go into Beast out to avoid being panel locked by the broken panels. And then playing it safe and taking the recovery withdrawal. Ooh, double point coming out from Uvu, so that means we're likely to see bees. Let's see, nice. So Symes manages to avoid that with the first one with his beast charge and the second with movement. So that was nice movement from Symes. Risky Honey 1 can be slow, so it can be hard to land. And I believe the pool had Risky Honey 2 in it. But I think Uvu decided to go with Risky Honey 1 because it has G-code, which goes with the uninstall, so he wanted to get his uninstall through his bees. Okay, going into Spout Cross. Oh nice, the Grandman SP will connect. So that's 210. Ooh. Symes was still flashing, so the bees didn't actually hit, but they managed to remove the invis, so that was still good value for Ubu. Let's see. Okay, so beast charge still misses. It wouldn't do that much damage, but it's still good as utility for defense actually, because during the charge you're invulnerable, so it's good for defense. Now Symes has his own fire white burn PA. And Uvu is going to be on grass. Let's see, if Uvu has barrier 100, then he could be saved from having 12 HP, and that is the barrier 100, nice. The Elecman will miss because Symes is still flashing. So if Uvu steps while the fire burn is out, then he could still get hit by it. Let's see if that happens. Okay, so it looks like... Oh, okay, so Symes is playing it safe. Instead of just throwing it away, he's going into Tengu to use back B to remove the barrier, and then going to finish off, or at least do a lot of damage with his PA. Let's see if Uvu gets off the grass. Doesn't look like it, yeah, so now Uvu is stuck at 12 HP. I don't think Uvu used the recoveries. Okay, Rook Cube coming down, and then mine. Oh, that destroyed the cube, interesting. Ooh, so there was enough time for Symes to get in charge shot, so that pushed the cube at Ubu and caused 200 damage, which put him to 1 because of undershot. But now Symes is going to be starting with anti-recovery, so Ubu will have no way to get back his HP. Yeah, and it looks like he's on code with the recovery. And yeah, that is the anti-recovery to finish off the game. That's game well played. So these were very interesting, seeing both. So Sam's going with a very heavy PA folder, and then Ovo also getting the fireband. Alright, that was well played from both sides. And now we will be heading off into the next game, which is Shadow vs Salad. Okay, so looking at both folders, so Shadow is running, so let's look at the Navicast first. Shadow is running the high HP custom 1, which with 1700 HP and super armor charge 1 custom 1, whereas Salad is going with less HP, but instead more custom, with custom 2 instead of the 400 HP basically. I mean the 300 HP. But looking at the folders, we can see a lot of differences there. So Shadow and Solid have the machine guns and boomers, which I think is a common feature that we'll see in a lot of the folders. But this time, Solid also has air hockey in M code, which will be very interesting to see if Solid will be able to land anything. Solid also has the uninstall in R code with Risky Honey and Meteors, so she'll probably try to go for uninstall, then go into ground cross, which gives +10, and then try to get the optimal area air hockey. Whereas looking at Shadow's folder, he has with half the code M code, half the folder M code, and then the other half with O code, where he's going with burn square, the recoveries in O code, instead of Y code Y that Solid is going for. Which is interesting. So usually burn square isn't as good because of how difficult it can be with lag, but if you wait for the default position, then that will put it in. I think we might be able to see that during the game, but it will put it at the top for in the top right corner 4 panels of the opponent. So if you just wait out, that can be an easy confirm, and yeah, it is a very good option to decross Tomahawk as well. Something else we see is that Shadow's also running the Corn Fiesta PA, which we've seen Symes run already. And yeah, both of them are running one anti-recovery and one anti-sword. They also both have bees, but Shadow has bees with double point, so Shadow's probably going to go for more aggressive play with the bees compared to Solid using it for both defense and maybe uninstall as well. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. So yeah, let's head right into the match. Okay, so starting, you see the conveyor field, and Shadow doesn't have any of the PA pieces other than the one he rigged. So he's debating if he should go into Dust Cross. Okay, so it looks like he will. The problem with Dust Cross in this format is that everyone is running a lot of machine guns, which machine gun is a strong chip on its own. It removes the traps that everyone is also running, but also decrosses dust. So going into dust turn 1 can be risky, which I believe is one of the reasons why Solid has a reg in Barrier 100, because barriers are one of the better ways to stop machine guns. But we'll see if Solid decides to go for that. We know that Shadow has the machine gun turn 1. It's always an option if you decide not to cross, but looking at Shadow's folder, he's looking for his PA parts. He has a lot of splash chips like number ball as well, so he would want to try to go through the folder as soon as possible. Yeah, and it looks like Solid didn't cross out. Ooh, and now Shadow is trapped with the conveyor panels. Okay, ground man, so this is going to free him from the area lock. Ooh, double hit on the embomber, but then the D-cross, losing dust cross before getting any value from dust. Okay, so it looks like Shadow's going for the early anti-recovery. He has the option to go for Muramasa because it's almost full damage. Okay, so he's ending with the flash bomb to set up for the recovery. I mean for the Muramasa. So just waiting out to see. He doesn't want to use his recovery early, his anti-recovery. And nice, that was very good movement, avoiding all of the machine gun hits. Ooh, Muramasa counter hit, nice. The counter hit on on the throw, and that was a lot of damage from Salad, getting 500 damage for free, and forcing Shadow to cross cancel. And now Shadow's going for his own Muramasa play. So now Salad knows that the trap Shadow has is anti-recovery, so she can just throw away the one roll she has. Okay, so Salad's stepping back to step underneath the flash bomb, and looks like she managed to get that in time. So that will stop that. Ooh, and the Muramasa landing, and then the final Buster Shot finishing off. Nice. Muramasa going in both from both sides very quickly. Okay, and we're starting with cube, fields, and ice, but this time it looks like Shadow is deciding to go for Spout Cross instead of Dust to try to take in the cubes. So seeing that, Salad's probably... Ooh, the counter hit with bees, nice. So Salad was expecting the machine gun to come from Shadow, and that's why she used bees to try to protect her, which that it did indeed. And it confirmed uninstall as well. Okay, so Shadow's going this turn for the Corn Fiesta. Let's see if he gets the optimal hits. So the problem with that is he's going to be ruining the grass panels, the ice panels that he would want to land his charge shots on. But he also wants to get the damage and to go through his folder ASAP, so having 3 chips just clogging his hand at custom 5 is an issue. Okay, so he's just waiting for Salad stepping closer to increase the chance of it landing. Ooh, Salad missing the Judge Man, and then TFCing the Barrier 100, which does protect her from 3 hits. And then the other cube does connect. Still very close game. Shadow started with 300 more HP. Okay, so it looks like Shadow's going for Anti-Sword, which is an interesting play. But he's also going for the Burn Square 3, so he's either expecting cross from Salad or to try to get it on the grass panels for 2x damage. Okay, Groundman does connect, and yeah, so now Shadow's just going to be waiting out for the Burn Square to time out, and will give a confirmed hit. Nice. Okay, so ooh, Shadow losing the anti-sword as well, and the counter hit. Nice. So now Shadow's going to be forced to cross cancel as well. Okay, so he's going for machine gun to start with to remove the trap that Salad has, and then Muramasa for basically trying to confirm it, or at least denying potential anti-sword that Salad could have. We'll see what Salad is actually running. Okay, so no beast out. Recovery 300 coming out. Ooh, Shadow missing the Muramasa, and Barrier 100 coming out from Salad. So now Shadow is just going to have to wait out until next turn. But he knows that Salad's playing Y code with the recovery, so he doesn't have to worry about anything else. And he removed one of her traps, but he doesn't know which one it was, so it can still be risky to use roll. Okay, so it looks like he's going for it. No, actually that is the second trap, so by using roll that will confirm which one it is. Because the first one was removed by machine gun. Okay, number ball coming out from Shadow at 90, which is almost max damage. Ooh, nice! The air hockey spam coming in and finishing that game off. So that was basically optimal area air hockey, so that was very good. Very rarely see that working out from Salad, and Shadow, with the movement pattern that Shadow was going with, it could have been very close to, with Shadow avoiding that if he stepped into Salad, but looks like that didn't happen. Solid took the game with it. Okay, so Shadow's going into dust again. Ooh, the double hit on Boomer. And now Solid's TFC. I'm not sure if that was intended or accidental because she lost out on the Barry 100. Now Shadow getting 2 hits from the machine gun, which isn't bad, that's still 140 damage. Now Solid's down to no, actually it's still not quite half HP, but Solid is taking a lot of damage. Ooh, Shadow already has the 2 recoveries in hand, but with all of that HP he doesn't need to take them already. That will be a lot of HP wasted if he does. Okay, we'll see what Solid has. So he's also taking the anti-sword, which I guess might scare Solid off from using recoveries if she has any. Okay, getting the Grandman SP. Shadow's doing very well for now. Ooh. Okay, so Shadow was trying to get the... I guess Shadow wanted to mash for the Fireburn, but instead was Solid using a chip that ended up being as TFC and he threw away accidentally. I think he could have waited it out and that would have still been a confirmed hit. And now Solid's ending the turn with a trap up, and I don't think Shadow knows which one it was. Okay, so he's playing it safe and keeping the recoveries and roll in hand. Shadow's debating if he should take roll now. Taking roll will let him know what trap Solid has, but he wouldn't have any other out to anti-recovery if this is anti-sword. Okay, and he decided to stay as Dust Cross, which can be risky because now a machine gun from Solid will both be a D-Cross and him losing his trap, so it will give Solid a 2-for-1 basically. Okay, Solid going for Tingo, which is probably the correct play to avoid being trapped by broken panels. Nice. Okay, so he knows this is anti-sword. Ooh, Solid getting in the charge at the very end. And now, yeah, so Shadow wants everything he wants in hand, so he's just deciding to not dust shoot anything and then just go with the Corn Fiesta. This could be a game if he gets enough hits. Ooh, I think this is a bad position. But that was still a lot of damage, so... Ooh, the charge shot's landing, Solid is down to 10 HP, missing the Momasa was a big miss. Now her HP is... the difference is very big between them. Unless Solid is able to get in a lot of damage through uninstall or something else, or deny the anti-recovery, because now anti-recovery could mean game. Let's see if the machine guns... Ooh, Grandman. Okay, so this will put Solid at 1 HP because the first 2 hits will remove the barrier and then to 1 HP. Judgman, and yeah, nothing to CFC, so that will be game. And I believe this is match as well, yeah. Nice, that was a close game. So seeing how Solid going for the full air hockey combo, which is very rarely seen. Like basically no one uses air hockey in normal BN other than I guess Solid, which had a folder trying to get air hockey, and especially now because of the limit to 3 chips, that makes the combo less worth it basically. But yeah, Solid managing to get it going anyway. So well played to both sides. Okay, now heading into the next game. The next game is going to be Lucky vs Eeveecario. Okay, so let's start first by looking at their Navicast, which I believe is the exact same one, just flipped. Yeah, I think it is the exact same one. So they both have the same one that Salad was actually running, which is slightly lower on HP, but has the full custom 8. But looking at their folder, they're running very different folders. So Lucky has the usual M code chips, the machine gun Muramasa and the M boomer that we saw, but he also has the other half of the folder being E code with 3 bubbles, 3 elect pulses, and the 3 band squares. So Lucky has a lot of potential burst damage and yeah, and a lot of decrosses actually for Spout Cross. Or actually most crosses in both Falzer and Gregor can be decrossed by Lucky's folder, so that will be something to watch out for. So Lucky is running no barrier 100, which is an interesting choice. Most people end up running recoveries and barrier because of how well they work together and because of barrier being pretty strong. But instead Lucky's running the 3 panel grabs, which is reg and tag, and also the double point. We see no uninstall from Lucky, but he has the one anti-recovery, so no anti-sword as well. So seeing a trap from Lucky, you will know which one it is. And yeah, he does have, as Shadow's mentioning, he does have the potential for a back row object, which is Timpani, but we'll see if he gets that. Okay, so going into Eeveecario's folder, they have also have few PAs, so they have 2 PAs running, Yo-Yo or Great Yo-Yo and the Wave Arm PA. So it will be interesting seeing if either of those land. We see the machine gun, Muramasa and Emboomer. So Eeveecario has the Elect Dragon and uninstall an L code. Also the Ice Seed, which you don't see that often. But I guess Ice Seed also works well with the Emboomer to try to get the confirmed hits with that. Yeah, 1 panel grab, there is Judgeman. I think that's most of the information. Eeveecario is also running the 1 anti-recovery, so no anti-damage. So seeing a trap, you'll know that it's that. But yeah, that is all the information. Let's head right into the match. Okay, so they're starting in cube field with grass, so it will be interesting seeing which what cross they decide to go for. So again, as we saw with the previous games, deciding to go with dust can be high risk, high reward, because getting decrossed early is something that could happen, but and especially because Lucky doesn't have any barriers, so higher likelihood of getting decrossed. Okay, so it looks like Eeveecario is playing it safe and not going with Dustcross, but he has the Elecman, so ooh, nice, getting the paralyzed from Elecman and then Machine Gun for the decross. So now they both so now Luck is denied from Dustcross, which has value, and the cubes are still there. So now Eeveecario can go into Dust and then try to get something out of that. Yeah, Elecman, you rarely see Elecman being run, and did very well there. Okay, so it looks like Lucky's deciding to play it safe and going for the early recoveries. Okay, no punishment. Ooh, the wave arm coming out, dealing 600 damage, denying these recoveries, and then giving Lucky anger. So now we'll see if Lucky decides to stay as baseman to try to get something out of the anger. That is a good point that Shadows bring up in chat, that this way, the way that Eeveecario did it, they managed to get in the stun but not the flashing, because the first hit from Elecman gives flashing, while the second one is the one that gives paralysis. So just getting the second hit is the optimal option for that turn. Okay, so it looks like Lucky decided to go for Beast out. Ooh, missing the bubble star, so that was a lot of damage missed, but he managed to get in the burn score 3. Let's see if the second one, nice, and he gets the second one as well. The game is still very close. They both started with the same HP, but we've seen Lucky use both of his recoveries. So we'll see if Lucky is going to be able to deal that damage before Eeveecario gets in his recoveries as well. Okay, so Lucky's going with the Tomahawk play to go for chip charging for 2x. Eeveecario getting the recoveries, that's the first hit. Then barrier 100 coming out, so this will protect Eeveecario from 370 damage, while also keeping the anger. Okay, so anger going on Judgment for 200 damage and destroying the timpani. They both still have a lot of damage in their folder, and they both use their recoveries. Let's see what Lucky decides to go for. So Lucky has few options now that he can go for. He can go with the E-code chips, he can try to go for Muramasa, or even the double point bees and try to get multiple hits from that. Okay, so he's starting with the Judgment, probably trying to confirm the double point into bees. Okay, let's see how well that's going to work out. Eeveecario is going into... Ooh, going to Beast out with the Fire Burn, which decrosses, but now that confirmed the position for the Judgment. Okay, so Lucky still has Muramasa for the 1 HP. He steps into him. So stepping into him gave him flashing, and now Lucky is still alive with the 100 HP. Now he can go into Beast over, and he has a lot of combo chips, so he can go with Bubble, Elk Pulse. Let's see if the Beast out does. So if Eeveecario survives this turn, it's very likely he will get the win. Ooh, barrier 100. This could avoiding the Elk Pulse and Bubble, so that was very good. Eeveecario still has 133. And the burn score will miss because Beast out will wait for attacks for the default position, yeah. So now Eeveecario, all he has to do is survive. And okay, so now Lucky is down to 1 HP, but he still has other things he can do actually, so this is still a very close game. And yeah, so the thing that Shadow is mentioning in chat is what Eeveecario could have been doing is firing buster shots at the end, because even though he had invulnerability during that turn, as soon as the turn ends, that goes away. So even if the feather was still mid-movement, and if it connects during the new turn, then that could still be game. So if the buster shots are timed well, that could be confirmed game with basically no answer to it. Tenguman, Groundman, okay. So this will still keep Eeveecario at 1 HP. And that will be game with the Tenguman, nice. That was very close. Lucky surviving, trying to get the attacks, but Eeveecario ended up going all the way, surviving Beast over and then going to the next game. with the victory. Okay, so going into game 2, they're starting with cubes field again, but now let's see what options they have. So looks like Lucky doesn't have any uninstalls, but he's going for Dust Cross again. Ooh, the early machine gun wasn't able to avoid that. Okay, Fireburn connecting. Lucky stepping away um, from the cracked panel, causing it to break and throwing the ice seed into the void. And that was actually good movement, or lack of movement, from Eeveecario, because that avoided the potential M-Boomer coming out. Usually you'd want to move, but with M-Boomer you can risk getting hit multiple times, so if you expect your opponent having it, it might be better to wait out. Ooh, machine gun getting the counter hit. Let's see. Eeveecario wasn't able to get anything out of the counter hit, and now Groundman was wasted into the cube. Lucky going with his eco chips, trying to combo out. Okay, so their HP is still very close. Let's see what Lucky decides to go for. He has a few options. He can go for his few E-code chips, he can go for M-code, or even the double point Bs. All of these are good options he can go for. Okay, so he's deciding to go with Judgeman. Ooh, the uninstall connecting panel grab. Yeah, unfortunate. So this is the optimal position for machine gun to get in 4 hits. Let's see. Yeah, that's the 4 hits. But then Eeveecario avoiding the other machine gun hits, so that was good. But it is still a lot of HP, a lot of damage being done in that one turn. Okay, let's see. So if Lucky decides to go for the Pulse almost is one of the fastest chips to be used. So if he wants to go for the basically guaranteed damage, he can just try to mash the Pulse. Or another option he can go for is starting with the burn square, and then if he managed to hit that, he can combo that into the Pulse, which will be enough for game, because Pulse will pierce the invis that the burn square will give. Okay, so it looks like he's deciding to go for that. Ooh, the recovery just in time, and the barrier 100. Nice. Oh, I didn't know that the burn square doesn't hit if you're standing on a hole, so that makes it even worse than what I thought. Okay, so Eeveecario is still holding on to that barrier. Okay, so Lucky is going into Tengu Cross for the back B to remove that. And he's going for the safer play of going with recovery. Okay. Yeah, so he's going with recovery and the few navis that he has. Ooh, beast out coming from Eeveecario. We could be seeing a lot coming out. Is that anti-recovery? So now Lucky is trying to play it safe in case that is anti-recovery, because that would be a lot of damage to take. Elecman again working very well to get the para. Ooh, okay, so interesting. Lucky decided to not risk it at all and go and is going to throw away the chips he had in hand. So now he's going to have to wait for the machine gun to hit first, and then if he wants he can go for the recovery next turn. And yeah, we do know it was anti-recovery because Eeveecario isn't running anti-sword, so that's the only option. And yeah, the barrier was still blown away. Ooh, Muramasa. Oh wow, the counter hit into the machine gun finish. That was very close. if that wasn't counter hit, that was very unfortunate. Just one buster shot would have been enough for game. Okay, so another very close game. Going into game 3 and starting with the same field as game 2 again. I think they started with cubes all of the 3 games. So we'll see this time if Lucky decides to go into dust again, because he's gotten decrossed first turn all of these games. And yeah, that barrier would have been enough to save from the counter hit. Ooh, the Alec Man coming in. Alec Man's actually doing a lot of work this game. Ooh, but I gave anger for Lucky, so this could be bad. Yeah, so now that did 340 damage, but now Eeveecario has the anger, so we'll see what they decide to use from that. Just avoiding the charge shots. Ooh, Lucky's looking at the Muramasa, deciding if he wants to go for that. Or the machine gun. I think the machine gun is the safer play, because he was already seeing the trap from Eeveecario, which is a bit early, so he can try to remove that. Okay, let's see. Ooh, the Elect Dragon, nice, and that denied the cube as well, I believe. Machine gun ends up connecting, which is unfortunate. Okay, so Lucky's going beast out. Let's see if he decides to go for the safer play with recoveries, or more offensive with Muramasa, or E-code spam. Okay, so it looks like he's going with recoveries and no beast out. I think the safer play is to go into beast out. It doesn't really need. There is no real reason to stay. Yeah, so he's still trapped, and I don't think there is a real reason to stay. So now he's just getting machine gun. Ooh, missing yo. Getting hit by the second emboomer misses, unfortunately. Okay, now Lucky's going for the double point bees and trying to confirm that with the timpani. Eeveecario is going to beast out though, so let's see. Ooh, power wave coming out, nice. Double point, so now Eeveecario needs to watch out with buster shots. Oh, the beast did hit and did a lot of damage, so now they're about the same HP. Okay, so it looks like now Lucky's going for the E-code spam. I think the safer play is just to go for 3 Elec Pulse 2. That will be enough for game, and it's very quick and applies drag, so there is basically nothing that can be done as a reply to it. Judgment, Tengu, that's not quite enough. And Judgment into bubble, that will be enough for game, so I think that will be it. And yeah, the other Elec Pulse finishing off. Ooh, that was a very close game. I mean, very close match as well. All games going to very low HP and very clutch moments. That was very well played. GG's, that was really good. That was a really fun match. Okay, let's look at the next game now. Okay, so the next I need to take a break after a game like that. It's very hype. Okay, so the next game is going to be Salad vs Enduring Grey. So we've already seen Salad play. We have an idea of the folder she wants to go with, uninstall, and then air hockey, or just getting the splash damage, or just the damage in general from her other chips. But looking at Enduring Grace folder, so starting with the Navicast. So this is a Navicast we haven't seen so far. I think this is the first one we see with Beat, and so it will be interesting to see if Beat will play into the game. So the Navi chips here, they are good, but I don't know if they're good enough to justify running Beat to deny them. I guess the main one would be Roll, so that the opponent can't avoid the anti-recovery which Enduring Grey is running, so that could be a good value play if Enduring Grey managed to get that. And yeah, otherwise the custom 1 and super armor with 500 HP, so everything else is about normal. Okay, so looking at the folder, looks like we have A codes. So we have the main M code engine with also air hockey and, interestingly enough, Iron Shell, which we haven't seen anyone running. There's also 2 wave arm. So we can see there's a lot of M code in this folder, we'll see, and the golem hit, which I missed as well. Also see the 3 Elec Pulse and the Elec Dragons on code, but unfortunately they aren't with the uninstall. So the uninstall this time is with bees. I'm trying to get that with the 2 risky honey. I also see the meteors, 3 panel grabs. Okay, interesting. So we're seeing 2 barrier star, which I believe Uvu was running one of, but we haven't seen that often. And the double point. Yeah, so another very interesting thing is that we're not seeing any actual recovery 300 chips. Which is very interesting choice. I believe Recovery 300s might be one of the stronger chips in that specific pool because of how much damage. So there is no defense outside of Barrier 100, and being able to get the 300 recovery back is very big. But we also see Enduring Grey is not running any of the Barrier 100s. So it will be basically a very glass cannon folder, trying to go for very high damage very quickly while sacrificing defense, compared to Salad, who's running a more balanced folder with the air hockey. That will be interesting to see. Okay, so we're going to head into the game. Oh yeah, and another thing that I didn't mention is that Enduring Grey was the only Gregar folder this pool. Usually we have about 50-50 split between the players, but in this pool it looks like everyone decided to play Falzar. So that will also give different options for the crosses and the turn plays. So we'll see. Yeah, so we're seeing Charged Cross coming out, which gives +1 custom every turn, so... Okay, Barrier 100 coming out. Ooh, the bees removing the barrier completely, and now Tenguman going away into Beat, but Tenguman was the only Navi Salad was running 2 of, so she didn't mind throwing that one away. And so normally Tenguman is useful to remove Barrier 100, but in this case it's going to be more useful as decrossing option, because Eeveecario isn't running any Barrier 100s and is running Gregar, so going with the machine gun spam with Erase Cross is also a lot of damage, so that will be an option to deny that. Okay, so Salad starting with the Judgeman, trying to get the paralysis, but now let's see if she gets the panel grab. She does, nice. So there is one panel for Eeveecario to avoid. They get hit, and the air hockey going into the hole. Ooh, the wave arm. I don't think Salad has enough time to avoid that, so she's just going to take the damage. Yeah. Okay, let's see what the options are this time. So Salad has few R-code, she has also the 2 machine guns and the Amboomer. So we'll see. One option she can go for is to throw away the recoveries to the back of the folder and hope to get them back in time again. But that can be risky as um, she used roll already. So if Eeveecario, if Enduring Grey gets the anti-recovery out at the perfect time, then it can still be very close. Okay, so Solid is taking the recovery, although she didn't take 300 damage. Oh, interesting. I expected she might wait for the recovery to take more damage, but I think she saw Enduring Grey going into Race Cross, so she wanted to spam that out in case Machine Gun comes out, which it did come out, and Sarah didn't react in time for with the barrier to protect herself. Okay, so looks like she's going with the panel grabs and machine guns. Ooh, going to Beast out, so that will give access to Beast charges, which I'm not sure if Eeveecario will decide to go for. Because they have attack 1, which isn't a lot of damage with them. Ooh, missing Muramasa. I guess it was still half damage Muramasa, so it wasn't as big of a loss. But still missing that much. Oh yeah, Enduring Grey. Apologies if I say that incorrectly. Ooh, going into Illic Cross with these, yeah, there was no way to avoid that. And then the Illic Pulse getting a counter hit. Solid still gets one hit with the Tenguman 2x, but now Meteor's coming down and getting a lot of damage. Okay, now Solid is trapped, so she's going into Beast out. So she can be freed, and even though she did uninstall, Beast out gives inherent super armor, so she can't quite use the air hockey or machine guns to try to get a confirmed win. Ooh, going into slash cross, chip charging, double point, interesting. So we might be seeing bees coming out. Ooh. Okay. So I'm not really sure what happened there. I think they used up the beast charge and then TFC'd the double point because the double point counted toward the... Ooh. Missing, so Salad had the optimal area for the air hookies, and she had the air hookies for that, but Eeveecario was stepping, didn't allow that, but that was still enough for game with all of them. So going with barrier and then again throwing away Tengu Man into beat. Okay, so with Salad's folder, she actually doesn't want to go for the PA, and the reason for that is the PA does less damage and is more likely to miss, as well as I believe it doesn't cause flinching if the opponent doesn't have super armor. So it's actually quite a bit worse than just using the normal chips alone. Okay, so looks like Solid's going for a more defensive play with just the barrier 100. Okay, so not a lot happened there, just one of the wave arms removed the barrier and then Solid has the barrier again. Ooh, though looks like now Solid has an option of either going with the M-code chips or... Okay, interesting. So Solid, I expected Solid to take a panel grab to get the confirm, but she managed to get the hit anyway. Ooh, using the machine gun too early. Getting counter hits by that. Okay, so it looks like Solid's going to spout cross. She'll be trying to get a charge shots for the D cross. Let's see if the Elec Dragon or Elec Pulses come out though for... Ooh, Meteor. So now she knows she's playing against R-Code. So she's not worried about getting D-crossed. But there is still bubbles that could... bees that could come out. Ooh, the D-cross does come out. It's not a lot of damage, but a D-cross is D-cross. And nice, so... Enduring Grey managing to avoid the full bees hit. Which I guess is more getting lucky with movement. Okay, so Solid still has a lot of M-code chips to go with. Okay, so she's still waiting on the panel grab. Yeah. Ooh, Beast Out coming out. They have very similar HP. 2 hits. The Emboomer still connects and Tangleman's going to come out. Solid should have enough time to get out the Groundman SP. But unfortunately... Ooh, the Muramasa, nice. That does connect and cause Solid to miss the full hit on Groundman SP. Enduring Grey is still... no, I believe Enduring Grey doesn't have any more sword chips, so... Now Solid's just using... the anti-sword to pressure the anti-recovery basically. Ooh, the Elec Pulse is coming out and that will be game with chip spam. I think, yeah, now going into game 3, nice. So Solid couldn't do much there because of Elec Pulse interrupting and then she didn't have time to react to it. If she managed to get the bees out in time, then that could have been very good for Solid, but unfortunately she was waiting and that was a bit too long. Okay, so now starting with Cube Field but also Ice Panels, so Solid has the option to go into either Spout or Dust. Okay, so she is going for Dust and she sees Enduring Grey going with the Race Cross, so now she's expecting Machine Gun to be coming out, so she needs to watch out for that. Okay, Charge Cross trying to remove... Ooh, the air hockey. The barrier 100 is still standing and then the trap coming out. Okay, so dusting, and now Solid has all of her Arcoid chips other than uninstall. So I don't think she'll be taking all of them. She's looking at the recovery, maybe expecting to take enough damage for the recovery to be used in play. Okay, so she's going with just one of the bees, maybe trying to get a machine gun with that. Ooh, and now... Ah! Bees on bees, so... Enduring Grey managed to block some of the bee hits and deal more damage with that. And now they're stuck to that column, so... They don't have much. Ooh, throwing away the Muramasa. Guess Solid's not expecting to take that much damage. But the bee's coming out. Let's see if she decides to match that to go for confirmed Yes, that is the confirmed uninstall. Though unfortunately missing the full damage on the second one. Ooh, double point coming out. And machine gun, but unfortunately that ends up missing thanks to the ice panels, which made the movement a lot easier for Salah to avoid. And now this is going back again to the optimal area for air hockey, and Salah does have one of them. Let's see if she decides to dust dig for that or... Okay, so she's thinking about going into spout cross, so probably playing it safe, going for defense or denying recovery and trying to get a D cross. Yeah, so she threw away the air hockey. Okay, so starting with barrier, so we've seen last game that Enduring Grey has a lot of elect chips, so starting with barrier is probably the correct defensive play. Although seeing no beast out probably makes it feel less risky. Ooh, nice, getting the movement and decross. Wave arm does remove the barrier, and then the trap goes away. Ooh, anti-recovery. Salt wasn't able to remove that. But now she's going with the M-boomers with Tomahawk to try to go for the 2x. We still haven't seen the meteors, so this could be an option to get decross, to get Salad decrossed, but we'll see if that ends up happening. It won't be for damage. We'll go into beast out, so we could be seeing chip spam again. The M-boomers with no way to avoid them. Ooh, Muramasa being denied by a counter hit. That was very unfortunate. That could have been enough to bring the game back, but now it's looking more and more difficult. Cross cancel into elect cross, and we see the elect chip spam. Let's see, yeah, that wasn't quite enough. Judgeman ends up missing from Salad. Let's see if Tengu getting D cross, and yeah, Tengu Man's going to be enough for game to finish off. And that was the match. Oh, that was a close game. It was very rough position for Enduring Grey to try to come back at the end there. But yeah, so that's one of the problems, that one of the main things about this game is the mind games and how you try to signal things into the opponent. And that's what ended up happening there. So you take the turn, you go into the turn expecting the opponent to do something, and then based on how they start their turn, then you adjust what you think based on that. And yeah, as Shadow is saying, that Gregor had a lot of different options to go for, especially with the elect cross, with elect spam, or trying to chip charge it. Is there a place to see the allowed chips cast pieces? Yes, there is. So if you join the N1GP Discord, so this format is specific pools format with a limited pool, and your Navicast being limited to just 5x5 instead of the normal 6x6. So if you want to see the chip pool for next week, you can join the N1GP and then use exclamation new moon, and that will give you the information on how to sign up for next week. And yeah, so going to be joining me with commentary is Eurasia. 1 second. Alright. Hello, Eurasia.
Darn it, you had to spoil
1 second. Well, I just the audio. Apologies for that. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, welcome to the stream.
Talk.
Alright, so we can head right into the next match, which will be playerzero vs Symes.
Wow, playerzero entered this? Awesome.
Okay, so if we look at the setup, so first if we look at the Navicus, so we've already seen Symes play, and we've seen the number open option he was going for. As for my Navicast, which we've already seen before actually, with Shadow running the same Navicast. So it's just the usual high HP, low custom folder. Navicast, I mean.
Only Symes is the only person crazy enough to run number open and an undershirt. But having 10 custom gives you a lot more options than playerzero's custom 6. He also seems to have pretty good defense as well. Wow, look at all that. He's got roll, he's got anti-recovery, he's got barriers. Whew.
Yeah,
She's gonna be a tough fight.
Yeah, it will be. So apologies if you were saying the audio. I was having audio issues on my end, so I wasn't hearing what you were saying. But I think the stream was listening to you, so don't worry about that. But yeah, so the folder I was going for, I had few splash chips while going for the usual M code options.
Yes, I see that M Boomer, Muramasa, Golem hits, Mach Gun, and a lot of asterisks too.
Yeah, so I think I didn't go with the folder that unusual. I do have the splash fireburn to get a decross and to also limit the movement from the opponent. I have the air hockey just as splash for the uninstall, and the uninstall, which is a splash on its own. But yeah.
Yes, that uninstall and Elec Dragon combo, and Elec Dragon always comes out so fast.
Yes.
Oh, well, yes.
Alright, let's head right into the next match then.
Oh, wow. The pool water's cold. Even worse, this is only pool number 1.
It is the first pool party we have.
If only the water wasn't so cold. Hey, it's that first turn fireburn. That rhymes.
First turn fireburn, yeah. And it will fix the cold problem that you have.
Hey, and Eminem. Yummy.
Okay, so we see that
HP difference, man.
Yeah, the HP is going to be a big. It's going to make a lot of difference in this game.
Ooh, Tomahawk Fireburn's gonna hurt.
And the lack of super armor, which we saw, has a lot of value there, getting in a lot of damage in turn 1.
So, Man.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why super armor in normal BN is very important, because normally Symes would be able to move away and avoid a lot of these hits, but because of the way lack of super armor works, a lot of hits are able to combo into each other and do a lot of damage.
Yes, being flinched is really, really painful. We see Symes going Tengu to avoid being stuck there.
Let's see if he managed to avoid the Emboomer. Ooh, the anti-recovery going off on roll, it looks like.
Yeah, that was not 300 HP.
Yeah, and then he used the 2 recoveries afterwards. And now, so one of the strong things about going with Spout Cross is that the Buster Charge is very quick. So with that, you're able to interrupt the opponent very easily. Even though it doesn't deal a lot of damage at all, especially with attack 1, it's still very good as a pressure option.
Oh man, I can't remember. The Aqua Soul and Cross has always been weak charge wise. Whoa! Program advance.
Getting one of the PAs off already.
And that hurt.
Unfortunately, it didn't do the maximum damage, but it was still a lot of damage.
Yeah, so I hit him twice. It has a maximum hit of, I believe, 3 times, right?
Yeah, I think getting it on the middle panel from the opponent. But unfortunately, if the opponent camps back row, then they can avoid all of the hits because it doesn't depend on where you're standing. It just hits the same area all the time.
Yeah, so it always hits for 5 panels ahead from the back, which is very unfortunate.
Okay, so Timpani going down. The first machine gun hits. Let's see. Okay, Barry's still standing, and now Timpani's gone. Ooh!
Oh, the Muramasa whiff.
Missing Muramasa, that can be very big. That would have been the damage to make the game a lot closer.
Also, fun fact: if you have a barrier or some sort of, some sort of aura, it actually prevents you from status effect. So when he put on that barrier 100, when player 0 put that barrier 100 on, it protected him from loud music.
Yeah, and though it does behave weirdly with using flash bombs, because if you have a barrier up with flash bomb hitting you, it will still cause blindness if it would do anyway. Ooh. Symes still keeping that barrier 100 alive, avoiding a lot of the hits.
And player 0 has a ton of HP still.
The HP difference is very big, almost 10 times the HP.
He's gonna block 2 hits from that. 2 and 3.
3, so still down to 60 HP. Though he does have a trap, which we don't know. Could be anti-sword, could be anti-recovery. I don't think we've seen anti-recovery yet.
Yeah, this is not looking good. This is looking very grim for Symes.
So even if we... Sorry?
No, go on.
So it's just saying, even if we consider the difference in starting HP, which was 700, it's still 300 HP lead for me now. Ooh.
Burn. I was actually wondering when he was going to draw that.
And he does get that with the 2x, I believe. So that was a lot of damage, making the game a lot closer.
Yes, he actually did 600 damage right there because player 0 was standing on grass.
And it also cracked the panels, which forces me to go into Beast Out. Okay.
Whoa, that dodge!
And then the Corn Fiesta coming in.
How did Symes close the gap?
400 damage, so now... Ooh, missing that charger. That charger could have been... That charger could have been very important.
I cannot... He did 1,000 damage so fast.
All of the HP difference just going down to almost the same HP.
See, that shows that you can never count out the opponent. Tomahawk Beast.
See if the number ball does connect. The barrier 100, is that going to be enough to survive?
Oh, it's 4 balls, I forgot.
Yeah, it was 4 balls, and that was it for game.
Man, that was very close. Symes was not giving up.
Yeah.
Never gonna give you up.
Yeah, exactly. Symes almost got the comeback. And then the number ball finish.
Yeah, I forgot the number ball was 5 balls in Bannerlord 5. But it was too powerful in Bannerlord 5.
Okay, wasn't it also a Mega or something like that?
Yes. Well, actually, no. I think in Bannerlord 4, number ball 3 was 5.
I see.
Yeah, and in Bannerlord 5, they made it into a Mega Chip that can only use 1. Oh, man. Bannerlord 4 was so unbalanced.
Okay, so now going into turn 1. So it looks like Symes is going for the ground cross early to give super armor, but I do have the machine gun, so let's see if that does connect, and it looks like it does.
He's stuck! Oh, okay. He's safe now.
Yeah, so this is one of the main weaknesses of going into ground cross, is that usually people will run machine guns or cursor chips to decross dust, which has very strong searching potential, but in this case that also works against ground cross, which Symes really needs to maintain the super armor to stop things from comboing into each other.
I mean, that is kind of like real life. Um, armor won't always protect you from getting shot. Like my gun is a machine gun. Do, 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 do.
I mean,
Like,
it protects you from most of the hits, but yeah, you can still get
success.
hit by a lot of them with super armor.
Oh no, Groundman!
Okay, so Grandman connecting, which puts Symes down to 370 HP. Ooh, Corn Fiesta! Ooh, that wasn't a lot of hits though, that was on the unlucky side. And Boomer, and then the machine gun spam to finish off. That was game. So game 1 was very close, but then as soon as game 2 started, the lack of super armor was really making a lot of difference. A lot of these attacks wouldn't have been able to deal nearly as much damage if it wasn't for the lack of super armor. But yeah. And another thing to keep in mind is that Symes wasn't really able to go into to play Gregar because he wanted to rely on Dust or to avoid getting decrossed by the other stuff, so staying in Falzar was very important for him, which unfortunately didn't end up paying out for him. But yeah, that was well played. That was a good game and very close. Okay, so heading into the next game, which will be luckytyphlosion vs Shadow. So I believe we've already seen both play, but one thing that we haven't seen is how the folders could interact. So we already know that Lucky isn't running any barriers, while Shadow has a lot of potential attacks that could be blocked by barriers, like the Burn Square. Also has the corn shot, which can 3 hits of that can be stopped by barrier 100. So it will be very interesting to see how the game turns out. But Lucky also still has the E-code spam, and things to pressure Tomahawk. So I believe the folder is very similar in idea. They both have a lot of spam hits, they both have a lot of damage potential, but Shadow's going for the PA, where Lucky is going for a lot more on the spam and then trying to get in all of the attacks. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. Let's head right into the next game. Okay, so they're starting with poison with grass field. So this field will actually allow Emboomer to be more likely to hit, and because normally you don't want to be standing in the poison panel, so you'll want to be camping the back row, so that makes Emboomer or things like machine gun easier to hit. So it will be interesting to see if either of them end up staying in the poison panels for long or deciding to play it safe and staying out of that.
I am not a fan of this field configuration.
Why not?
At all. Because I never have float shoes and poison hurts.
Yeah, that is fair. I mean, one of the things that people don't really pay attention to is how much damage it can be taking. Ooh, Shadow eating all of the heads from machine gun. Both of them decided to stay in basement and play safe with that. Okay, so it looks like Lucky's going for the beast out, trying to get in the bubble into Elecpulse combo. But now Shadow is also going for beast out.
Oh, that was a...
Ooh, bad score. The Judge Man.
Unfortunately, Judge Man will not give area back because there was no area for the books to spawn.
So Judgment was able to confirm the Muramasa. Shadow was able to mash in faster because the bubbling is less time, I believe, so it's easier to mash out of, and managed to land the Muramasa, bringing him ahead with HP.
That good play overall. Like, Muramasa's a great chip. It's just a little hard to land without any sort of help.
And sometimes going into Beast Out can actually make it more likely to miss because of how Beast Jump works. Okay, so it looks like Lucky's going for the machine gun. Ooh,
Corn Fiesta!
Ooh, that was a lot of hits, but still at 34 HP.
Point blank drill to the face.
Missing the M-Boomer. Going down to 12 HP. Lucky's very low. But at least he removed one of the traps that Shadow had, so he's just probably going to be mashing to try to get the barrier 300 and trying to get in a lot of damage from that.
Yeah, he's gonna need to recover now. He's down to 12 HP.
I don't think, outside of Time Freeze chips, I don't think Shadow has anything like Eloc Pulse 2 that can be used before the recovery could come out. So we'll see. Lucky should have a chance to get that off. Ooh, they both went with recovery.
Rocks! Okay, he's taking that panel back. He's taking that panel back again.
Just taking all the panels.
Okay, I guess everyone gets the same panels.
Then Tengu getting both hits in 440 damage.
Oh, okay. Everyone
getting all the hits.
Tengu. Everyone Tengu. All they have left is their 1 damage buster.
Okay, so now Lucky's out of Beast Out. So now he's going to have to rely on what he has. Okay, so it's going... Okay, so looks like he's going to try to get the confirm on the 2 XPs. There could be a lot of damage with Beast if he managed to land that.
Uh-oh, Flash Bomb!
Flash Bomb, that isn't going to be doing much, but Lucky might be able to use that to get another beehive. Let's see if he's going to mash for that and if he does that in time.
Can we do it in time? Oh, he was just second.
That was really unfortunate, yeah. So he both missed out on the 2x and on getting another beehive. Nice. Stepping into Shadow to avoid being hit.
How much damage does that collision do?
I think it does just 10 damage. Yeah, so it's not a lot. But now look at the HP. They're back to being almost the same HP.
There's no more recovery, so.
And anti-recovery coming out from Lucky. Ooh, and seeing Shadow use the barrier, so we know he's in the code for recovery.
Not a barrier.
Very defensive turn.
Watch out!
Okay, so just firing buster shots. Ooh,
Oh,
anti-sword!
He's gonna beast over to avoid the damage!
Nice, so now this is the only option Lucky has. Let's see if this will be enough for game. That could be very bad position for Lucky if he isn't able to finish off, but he has more than enough damage to do so. Okay, so Shadow staying. Ooh, that did connect. It avoided the Tengu.
And Boomer, watch out!
And then Muramasa to finish off. Nice.
M Boomer Masa, the M Boomer Masa combo. You saw it here, folks. M Boomer Masa.
Nice.
Oh man, I was not expecting to see a beast over play. That was insane.
Yeah, that was very close. If Shadow was able to avoid the emblem, then he could have survived into the next turn and then possibly got in game, but it was with Muramasa.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to challenge. It's kind of hard to challenge it.
Okay, so Lucky has the timpani, but he doesn't really want to use that to give a free object.
Hey.
Ooh, though he does have all the elect pulses.
Yeah, he has the bubble. He can elect pulse. He can elect pulse again. He can elect pulse again.
And
he can burn them.
Yeah, so he has a lot of damage. So I think the option he can go for is bubble into elect pulse, into the fire burn, into elect pulse again.
But he might want to decross him from using a dust.
There is also a play, and looks like he might be going for that.
Because dust is really, really useful in finding chips.
Yeah. Especially because Shadow's running custom 6, so he doesn't have that many chips. So any turn he can stay in Dust Cross, that is possibly an earlier turn that he can get his chips at. Ooh, Corn Fiesta! Point blank, doing a lot of damage.
Yo, he slapped him back.
Getting the panel grab.
Okay, he's now in the perfect place for end boomers now.
But unfortunately, he doesn't have any. Though he does have all of his eco chips, so he can go for a lot of his spam.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna hurt.
And let's see how he decides to order that. Okay, so he is going with the fire burn instead of a second bubble.
Yeah, he's gonna. Uh-oh. He's gonna bubble him. He's gonna bubble him, elect him, burn him, and then elect him again.
And now he just needs to wait this out, and it will be confirmed to 280 damage actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because missing the bees.
Okay, so it's always confirmed in that spot.
Yeah, that is the timeout position for Fireburn. I'm not sure if all of them have the same, but at least that one does.
Okay, it's very good to know the timeout sequences, since it makes it much easier to aim. It makes it much easier to aim if you know it.
Ooh, the recovery on the anti-recovery, is that going? It does work! Nice!
He did it just early enough. Uh-oh.
And now for the Beast 2X, the barrier 200, is that going to be enough? It wasn't! And then the Buster Shot finishing off.
It's bad enough to get stung by bees, but to get a Buster Shot at the end? That was a good match, man.
Yeah, that was really close. Lucky being able to hang on at the very end and then denying the recovery 300 while it was mid-animation.
That was nonsense. I'm surprised that worked.
Yeah, this is actually really interesting. I'm not sure how much leeway there is. Like, how long do you have after recovery or while recovery is being used?
Okay, at least now we know if you don't see the animation or the HP, it still hasn't been activated yet.
I mean, I think it might be when the HP adds, because I think the animation was already playing, wasn't it? I'm not actually sure now.
I didn't see the animation. I just saw the chip name. I just saw the chip here.
Yeah, that might be it. That might be.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, those. I guess you learn something new every day.
Yes, that's what makes this game so much fun. You're always seeing brand new situations.
Yeah, and especially with this format, because no one ever uses anti-recovery in normal BN folders, but this format allows for such interactions to actually be seen.
And that's what makes and that's what makes the more that's what makes the more unusual formats interesting to watch still.
Yeah, exactly, and more fun to play as well.
Yes. It's time for more pool party because we're not done yet.
Yeah, we still have 4 more games to go, so let's head
Yeah.
into the next one.
It's time for a Pokemon battle. Eeveecario versus Neryth.
Okay, so this is the first time we see Neryth play with this stream. And yeah, it does have very interesting folder and Navicast.
Why?
So yeah, we see the anti-damage Navicast, which is commonly referred to as anti-magic, custom 2, charge max, and 2 attack +1.
At least he's ready for a fight, although he's rocking 1000 HP, so...
Yeah, so he has 1000 HP and he has very... So the problem with anti-damage is that, or the anti-damage Navicast, is that you'll want to stay in baseman. But looking at his folder, looking at the pull in general, you don't really want to stay as baseman. Because he has chips to get boosted, he has dust that he would want to go to look through his chips. But yeah, so we see him running Justice 1, which I believe he's the first one, or he might be the only one in the tournament to be running Justice 1, which is interesting.
Justice! A great chip. It breaks all the panels. I mean, cracks. I'm sorry, it cracks.
It cracks, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it cracks deals 100 or 200 in the middle, and overall very good, which is surprising that we didn't see anyone else running it. So he also has the 2 EX Navis, which I believe no one else was running EX Navis either. So he's going for more, he's putting them there more for the damage instead of utility, where the others might have been doing. And another thing that we haven't seen so far is running 2 of each defense instead of the usual 1. So that makes trying to guess which one has been used or trying to deny them from the opponent a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it's gonna be more. It's going to be more of a guessing game.
Yeah.
So, Eeveecario has to make sure that those mock guns hit.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, Eeveecario doesn't have enough machine guns for all the traps.
That is true.
But one main thing to keep in mind is another downside to anti-magic is that if you have a trap on and it does trigger, then that will remove your trap. It will just doesn't activate it, it'll just go away.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so that is one potential weakness and could be a reason why Neryth decided to run more defensive chips.
I see. I guess every strong power has to have a flaw.
Yeah, exactly, because anti-magic normally is very good. Like if you manage to land it consistently, it can be very good, but also denies you from crossing, can be affected by lag, and has all these other downsides.
Well, it's gonna be down to if Neryth can press the combination back, the left and B combination consistently enough, because I'm pretty sure that the Navi customizer anti-damage protects you from everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so not even cursor chips can go through it. Basically nothing in the game can go through it. Except, I guess, anti-recovery, because that's not technically a hit, it just takes your HP down, which goes through everything. Even Beast Over, I believe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so even that isn't really a safe option to go for. The one thing to point out in this matchup is that Eeveecario is running 3 yo-yos. So that will highlight the 2 anti-swords, where most other players were running just the 1 Muramasa. There is a lot of sword chips to try to get damage out of. So
yes, that's going to make running Tengu a bit dangerous.
yeah,
Since
yeah,
Yeah. Well, so just a quick reminder: Yo-Yo is listed as a null chip. It's actually when it hits, it actually counts as sword.
Yeah.
It's just one of the things, kind of like Proto Man. Like Proto Man, even though he's a normal Navi, he uses swords. So that makes Yo-Yo interesting but dangerous to Tengu, especially the program advance. If you pull it off, it will hit no matter what. Even one hit will get that decross.
Yeah, exactly. But this also makes it for Neryth, where he can go into Tengu on purpose and then put anti-sword up, so he baits these attacks and then gets his own damage for free, basically, and denies the opponent's damage.
The Does anti-sword last long enough for the full hits of Great Yo-Yo?
I believe it should. I'm not sure, but I think it lasts for quite a while, so it should protect fully.
If it does, that's a great counter to Great Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get this match started.
Alright, let's head right into it.
Let's do it. Jack in. By Capcom. Wow, that was fast.
1 second.
Okay. Oh, wow, that was fast.
Ooh, going for the PA already. Yeah, so...
Yeah, and he already has 2 pieces of Yo-Yo as well.
Yeah, and so this is an interesting starting field as well, because we see the Alec man there, so Eeveecario has the answer to one of the options that Neryth can go for, which is Spout Cross.
Wow, well, that's a good hand.
But we'll see if Neryth decides to stay as baseman or go into the more risky Dust Cross. Okay, so he's going still with baseman. Panel grab coming in.
Watch out.
Machine gun.
Oh no,
Ooh,
double!
The D cross with Judge Man and gaining the Neryth back.
Roundman
SP will hit, but I don't think there will be enough time for Alec man to land. Yeah, still flashing. And doesn't pierce invis.
Rest in peace, Cubo Ice.
Okay, but now we have the Alaman PA, which will do a lot of damage if that does connect. And Neryth doesn't have any way of trying to avoid that. I guess barrier 100 could save him. But there is no defense, so this is very likely to land. Ooh, and he's going into Tomahawk, so not even anti-magic.
Whoa! Oh no!
Just in time!
Oh, and he got hit by that ×2 M Boomer.
And then ×2, but this ×2 could be good. Ah, shame he didn't get the PA. If he managed to get the PA, that could have been game.
That was so unfortunate.
He's still going to keep the anger play and try to go for the 2x M Boomer. Ooh, roll coming out, so might be seeing recoveries from Neryth.
Oh, that hurt.
That will hurt, and that removes the trap as well. Ooh, barely missing out. If Neryth managed to get the machine gun in time, that could have been game.
More bees!
Okay, still no PA, but he does have the fire ban. So if he wants, he can go into Beast Out and then try to get that confirmed for the D-Cross. Starting with recovery to play it safe in case of a time freeze chip. Or maybe any mash attack.
It's getting intense.
Ooh, Beast Out, so might be seeing
recover, hurry!
Things coming out. The M Boomer removing the barrier. The second M Boomer, and then the Judgment missing. No, that could have brought the game down, but now the difference. Neryth started with much lower HP, and now he's coming back.
Well, he's still missing that one yo-yo.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. Just waiting almost all of the game without one of them. Going into Beast out, so now this will negate the effects from the ice panels with the slide. But Neryth could still have enough for game if he mashes some of the chips he has. Meteors would be enough to finish it off. He has Tengu, Mani X, which in this position won't be quite enough, but if he manages to get 2x, I think that will be game. So Neryth still has a lot of options.
Barrier.
Okay, so it looks like he went for the defensive code. Double point.
Oh, right in the face.
Ooh.
Ah!
That would have been game.
Oh!
And then the counter hit, nice!
That would have been game if he survived that!
That was very close, few more frames and that would have been game for Neryth. And now again with the turn 1 Power Wave PA.
Yo. Those ships are marked. Was that what? Power Wave!
Ooh, getting it straight out.
Makes a hole right there. It could stop it. Oh no!
No. Let's see if back B in time. He does. Nice.
The madman did it.
That was really impressive. Trying to get the back B on that short of a timing.
That was close. The back B, man.
Yeah, and especially with lag, which makes it a lot more difficult to try to get like with the first go consistently.
That was nuts.
That was the second power wave to miss. And both of them were turn 1.
He anti.
Nice, managed to get the anti-magic out. Let's see if another one came out as well.
Nah, they would have been too fast.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Ooh, the Ground Money X coming out.
Ground man all day for everybody.
Trading grounds. Ooh. Eeveecario was waiting out the time and trying to bait out the anti-magic, which he managed to do. And it looks like they're going for the safer play.
That'd be cool.
Ooh, and then Muramasa.
A little sooner. Wait, already?
Yeah, so what happened there is that Neryth has, I believe, Buster 3 or 4? He has Buster 3. And with Beast out, and the way it works out with Invis, is that Buster shots do double damage instead of the normal one hit. So that removed it very quickly.
Oh. That's scary.
Yeah, so that was one of the weirdness in Barrier with Invis. Ooh, Boomer, that misses. Machine gun. Ooh, that does connect. But the nice! Muramasa does connect and then the game finishes very quickly.
That was too fast. I blinked.
Yeah, exactly. Barely managed to see what happened.
Lesson learned, do not blink. Wow, man. These HP is going down a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, especially with Eeveecario, both of them running recoveries and Eeveecario having the higher HP.
Round. You're grounded.
Okay, the Groundman gets in. Ooh, barrier 100. Let's see what the machine gun does. It still removed the barrier, nice. Though the Groundman missed, or at least the full hit miss.
You know, in my opinion, a groundman to the face should hurt more, because you're getting a drill to the face.
I mean, having rocks fall on you is quite painful as well, so...
I'd rather have a rock fall on me than getting drilled in the face. And he's got Power Wave again.
Power Waves, I guess that's where having them ragged and tagged comes in. You get them very early.
No, the question is it gonna hit this time?
Ooh, there are some broken panels in the field, so let's see if they do connect.
He's gonna win. Ah!
Ooh, stepping back, nice. That will be basically a confirmed avoiding. Let's see if Eeveecario decides to keep the same hand or play it, I guess, safer and try to go for something else.
Tough because you have it and you don't want to. You don't want to waste it.
I think at that point they should have still tried to dust shoot and try to go through the folder more to try to smooth out the hand for next turn. Okay, let's see.
He did
Ooh!
it. Still did
Avoided the third one again.
Yo, this makes me sad as a Power Wave main. 3 times it did not
Yeah,
connect.
those really rough, missing all of that damage. And machine gun counter hit, though unfortunately he didn't get full synchro. And Eeveecario has the anger now, so let's see. Ooh, look, are they going for the PA?
Great yo-yo.
That should be a lot of damage if you get the optimal hits.
But the problem is Neryth has super armor, so we can just walk through it.
Yeah. Uninstall. I don't think uninstall landed.
Justice.
This one that goes on the barrier.
Or is that if that's anti-sword?
Is that?
Oh!
No, it wasn't, and that was game.
Yo, that anger made it do so much damage so fast.
Yeah, and if you saw there, the Neryth tried to use back B because you saw him shoot out a buster shots, but that was probably a missed anti-magic.
Ah, so much anger, so much missing, so much fun. Like it's too much fun, man.
These games are really good. Everyone's having really close matches.
And this is why I still live to Battle Network. It's just too good.
Yeah, exactly, and especially that this is a new format. So this is the first week that people have been playing this format. So there is a lot of options, a lot of different things that people haven't been experimenting with, especially with Navicasts, with a lot of different things.
Hopefully we see more crazy stuff.
But yeah, let's head right into the next match, which will be Shadow vs playerzero.
Yo, that playerzero in the tournament. Yo, awesome.
Yeah, it's like he's also commentating the stream. It's so weird.
Amazing. And we see here, as mentioned before, Shadow has good old Corn Fiesta.
Yeah.
He's got some barriers. He's running recovering O, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he's got the number ball. playerzero has some good old Muramasa, mock guns, boomers. He also has recovery and barriers. And both Shadow and Zero have the same amount of HP. The only difference is that almost Shadow's being very risky. Wait, hold on.
No, it is the same Navicus, just flipped.
Okay, I'm a little confused because undershirt is not listed under his Navicus list.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just a little confused over that. But I was looking at it like, wait, I see it right there. I just realized if it's flipped, which means playerzero is fighting a Shadow.
Ooh.
All right, then let's do it.
All right, let's head right into the game. This will be interesting. Yes. I think the folders are quite similar with few slight changes, so it'll be interesting to see. Okay, and we already saw it. Corn Fiesta turn 1.
Yes, let's party! Yes. Yo, a Dust Fiesta.
Yeah, so it looks like he is going for Dust. So going to Dust early both pressures me into trying to use back B, but also buffs the defense. Point blank doing almost 700 damage, 640 damage.
I don't remember Corn Fiesta being that strong.
That was a lot of damage. So Confiance, I believe, has a chance to hit. It's not similar to Meteor Knuckles. I think it's just a random chance on each panel. So you could hit very well or be very unlucky and hit poorly.
Yo, and playerzero hit Shadow with that rock too. So their HP, despite using a PA, Shadow using a PA, playerzero still got it even.
Yeah, there was a lot of damage from both sides, but now Shadow's going and Boomer, which connects. Uninstall also connects. Ooh, Muramasa, but gets the counter hit.
Both players again are even, but that anger on grass, that could clinch it. Can
Let's
Shadow pull it
see.
off?
If Shadow misses this, this will be very big because that will deal a lot of damage. Groundman. Ooh, barrier 200.
And he whiffed.
And Shadow misses that as well. That was a big whiff. And the anti-recovery is slightly too late.
Whoa! That was a little too spicy.
Okay, so Shadow has the double Groundman into the flash bombs.
Flash bomb. Great chip, if it manages to blow up.
So this is an interesting order. So okay, so he's changing up. I don't think going into 2 Groundman. So using the first one and then the second will cause flashing. Then use the flash bomb to interrupt, and then confirm the last one. Because now it will break the panels, or has the potential to break the panels.
Nope. Boom.
Second
Flash
one coming
bomb.
out.
Flash bomb 3 also causes blindness.
Blindness, yeah. That was a lot of damage in one turn. Ooh.
Yo, that floating eyeball.
And the floating eyeball.
That's scary.
I mean, just getting it on that perfect frame, that should remove the image, because you see the eyeball's open. Why can't I see? So it looks like Shadow's going for a safe folder, going with the barriers and the fire hit.
Tenguman.
Ooh, Tenguman. Both hits will land though. Shadow will just wait for this to time out. Barrier 100, roll with the bit of recovery.
It's a good thing that roll floats. She's one of the few Navis you can use on a hole.
Yeah.
Barriers for everybody.
Ooh, getting in the barrier at the very end, nice.
Very risky.
Is he going to play it safe or try to go for the game?
He has bees.
Ooh,
but
double point into number ball, that's interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone do a play like that.
So let's see if any of the panels break. That will lower the damage. Oh, looks like they didn't. Barrier 100 and then the number ball, that makes it game.
That was 400 damage right there.
On the TFC as well. I think if it wasn't on the TFC, there might be a chance to survive with 1 HP, but the TFC on the barrier and made it game.
That was painful. But yeah, I've never seen anyone use double point with that shit. Rocks. Who's gonna eat it first?
Ooh, the missed input from Shadow. But he still has the machine gun. Let's see if he managed to get the D-cross. Ooh, missing all of the hits.
Unfortunate.
Judgment miss as well.
one book. It,
Ooh, nice.
rock to the face. Oh, that hurt. Really painful.
Okay, now going for the safer play with the recovery and the barrier early. See if he goes into Tengu as well. Okay, looks like not. Barrier 100. Ooh, and the recovery coming out straight away.
It's gonna block 2 hits.
Yeah.
Boom.
But still traps him, so... Ooh, missing. And that does remove the barrier. And then a trap at the end of turn.
He already fired both rocks, so she can now go back to actually using his buster.
Yeah. Although the buster is 1 damage, so it doesn't do that much.
No!
But yeah, that is an option.
She threw away the Boomer Masa. Oh well.
Ooh, but he is going for double point into number ball. Let's see if that actually connects. That will be 100 at the current HP. Or actually,
Wait.
one of the panels is broken.
Oh no, number ball's a time freeze chip, so
Yeah.
so no bonus for that. Uh-oh.
Ooh, double point coming out. It just took one, so it's just plus 20. And end up missing, which is unfortunate.
That killed a lot of people watching the match.
Just kept going, and anti-recovery coming out at the end. Ooh, Corn Fiesta though. Looks like he is going for it.
You throw away that flash bomb. I was probably gonna save it for next turn.
Okay,
Like
so
that barrier and cross has to go.
So he wants to, because the barrier will block 3 hits, so he's just wanting to confirm that going away, and then machine gun getting a 3D cross. Ooh,
Ah, both! And Boomer! And Boomer
into
and
a
Boomer
fire
fire
burn.
You know what? It's time to party.
See Corn Fiesta, how many hits that gets in this time? Shadow's been doing pretty well with the hits with that.
It's time to party like it's 2006. The release date of Banner 6.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what happened that year.
Yeah, Banner 6 came out.
Okay. Ooh, both in beast out, Corn Fiesta. Ooh, that is still a lot of damage.
Number ball! Duh, 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 duh.
Ooh,
Whoa!
Fireball missing.
That anti-damage. Oh, sorry, not anti-damage.
The trap, you don't know what it is. I don't think the first one was removed by machine gun, so I don't think Shadow knows which one this one is.
It's
But-
always tough to keep track of those.
Yeah, but he has the roll in hand, so he can just use that to play it safe. Ooh, Judgment coming down. Though unfortunately the Unboomer is basically confirmed, there is no way he can avoid that. And yeah, that was anti-recovery. Groundman and Groundman.
Anti-recovery is such a scary chip if you run a lot of recoveries.
Yeah. And I
Round
think
man for everybody.
that was one of the things that made this pool very interesting, is that...
Ah!
Ooh, Golem hit! Nice.
Whoa,
The
whoa,
second one
yeah,
missing.
That was close. Golem Hit is one of the most powerful single hit chips in the game.
Yeah.
It's 250 damage for a standard chip. That's pretty good.
And it applies breaking at basically the perfect range for decrossing slash, so it has
Yes.
very good uses. So.
Since Slash likes getting in your face, give him the Golem Fist.
Exactly. Ooh, and looks like both
Whoa,
are going into Tomahawk. but Shadow is still panel locked. Let's see if the Boomer connects. It doesn't. Machine gun. Ooh.
You activated it at the end of the turn.
Yeah, that will give it away or give me easy movement to avoid that.
He could cross out to cancel the animation.
Yeah.
But he probably won't.
And I think he's already seen that I've used both fire bands, so he's not worried about decross. And he does have the flash bomb, which can combo into bees, so that could be good damage coming out next turn. Ooh, air hockey. The counter hit coming out. Air hockey going into the void, and then the flash bomb will interrupt the machine gun. Ooh, miss on the Muramasa.
No, the bees are coming! The bees are coming!
And then the two Boomers into Muramasa, so even going into Tengu is very risky. It looks like that was the play. Ooh, barrier 100, this could be big.
Whoa.
Okay, roll coming out for some recovery. And recover 300, though the double hit, so that denied the recover 300. And then Muramasa. And the buster shot to finish you off.
Even though the M-Boomer hit him twice, it wasn't enough damage.
Yeah, and that was the game for Muramasa basically finishing off.
Seeing Muramasa getting so much use is always fun.
Yeah, especially like with this form, you don't often see that many people running Muramasa. But yeah, so it's always fun seeing how, especially with anti-sword in the pool, so you can see how that can be playing mind games on the opponent on when to use your anti-sword and when to use your Muramasa as well.
Anti-sword is fun.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like all fun things, the pool party is almost coming to an end.
Yeah, we're heading on to the second to last game, which is going to be playerzero vs luckytyphlosion.
Lucky. This is gonna be fun. As you saw before, Lucky is running 1400 HP. He's got extra custom. He's got custom 8 undershirt and super armor, and charge +1, just to fill in that one space.
Yeah.
And he's running the whole Bubble Star Elect Post combo, which does good damage.
Yeah, so we've already seen Shadow play vs Lucky, and Shadow's folder is similar to mine, with few splash differences. And Lucky, and that game was very close. Lucky ended up having to go into Beast Over, and Muramasa being played a lot. So it will be very interesting to see how this game will end up playing out.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, I can tell you that much.
Alright, let's head right into it.
Yes, let's do it!
Okay, so starting with the conveyor panels, which makes the reg that Lucky has with panel grab interesting, because it can get panel lock, yeah.
Although M-Boomer will help, it only helps if the opponent uses it, as it only transforms the opponent's panels into grass.
Yeah.
So, getting conveyor panels is never fun.
Yeah, and so at the start I was debating if I should go into Dust or stay as Baseman, but at the end decided to go into Tengu, because I didn't want to risk getting decrossed from Dust Cross very early. Especially with the field, because it makes avoiding machine guns much more difficult. And I think I had the golem hit as well, so getting back B and trying to get that confirmed can be a lot of value.
A lot of intense thinking.
Okay,
Here we go.
like Lucky decided to go into Dust Cross and then Tengu coming out straight away.
Uh-oh.
A panel grab, so
He's getting closer.
all the way.
See? Golden Fist is good if you don't want him getting close.
Yeah, exactly. And now he has the perfect range for getting Emboomers to hit, guaranteed basically.
Yeah, it's the only way you can dodge it like this is if you have if you have Warp Bug.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately he does not have.
Though I think there was Judgman at the top of my hand, so that will return the middle panel, which will allow me to step into it to avoid it. But Machine Gun is basically the first hit will be confirmed with this range, so and going into Beast House, so this could mean a combo coming out.
Wow, the books even go backwards?
Yeah. Ooh, Bubble
Shock.
connecting into Electric Pulse into Bubble again.
19 damage? That's not a lot.
19 damage. That's still decent, getting 100 damage. I mean, about 80 damage, but still not that bad. And now the two recoveries in hand and anti-recovery.
Ooh. Oh. Recovery, barrier, and an anti-recovery.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things that I decided to have anti-recovery as rank, because one of the things I noticed with just one in the folder, I would never get it when I need it, and I thought that anti-recovery is important enough that it will be worth having as a rank chip. Ooh, Muramasa, then the anti-sword denying that.
The Muramasa block, man.
Denying 1k damage.
1k damage and decross. Ooh.
Yes, so and doing extra damage for free thanks to the anti-sword. And now anti-recovery is coming out because his HP is low enough that he would want to use recoveries now. Ooh, Tengu coming out, so that will get rid of the barrier. And Band Square, so...
Oh! It managed to hit.
Let's see if the Tengu Breath does connect with uninstall, then if one of the hits connect, then all three do. Ooh. But he managed to avoid that.
Dust Scrap. It is not often that we see that used as a beast charge.
Yeah, although it has very good utility, especially I guess in here with breaking panels, even though I am in beast out, so it won't play as much value now.
It has the bonus effect of not having on the field. Ah!
Ooh.
See that lack of super armor is just devastating.
The lack of super armor into chip spam, which will give in to game.
Time for round 2.
So again, debating going into Dust turn 1, worrying about the machine gun getting early decrossed. If you're worried that, so it depends, but if you can not go into something and avoid getting insta decrossed, then you should try to avoid that, obviously. Ooh, and he went into Tomahawk, so let's see if the Fireband does connect, which it doesn't, and another miss.
Slap.
See if both panel grabs, they both come out.
Nope.
And Timpani coming down. Let's see. Okay, one charge shot was enough to destroy. Though double point, there could be bees coming out into next turn.
Or maybe the mad plan of Number Ball.
I don't think Lucky was running Number Ball. I think the only one going for that strat this week was Shadow. So quite the strat to go for.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's still burned into my mind.
Ooh, Judgment. So, and that will miss
No!
because standing on a hole. Yeah.
Yeah, he does not float.
Ooh, and bubble hit twice there, which was actually less damage compared to one hit in bubble, because that didn't give the bubble status, which denied 120 damage from the Elk Pulse. So getting hit twice by the bubble was actually better. Ooh, Muramasa in hand, and the machine gun spam. Let's see if that does connect. Ooh, Tenguman removing the barrier and dealing some damage.
Yeah, I like pulses.
Into burn score, so this will be the confirmed position, so you can just wait it out. To another burn score. At least this time he needs.
Oh, the whip!
Beast jump causing that Muramasa to miss. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, the smallest one, Muramasa, it has the range of a longsword.
Yeah.
So Beastat will move to where the optimal position is, which is one panel away.
Which isn't really the optimal position. I guess it denies your opponent stepping into you to avoid that, but it allows them to step back to avoid it, which is even better for the opponent, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Ah, he used it.
Yeah, it was already used, so missing that damage. Ooh, the ambo did connect, and then the machine gun removed the trap. Getting the recoveries out.
Yeah,
but Lucky still has a trap.
Yeah, the HP difference is looking good, so recovering now is a good idea.
Yeah, using the 2 recoveries now will bring up the HP.
But is it going to be enough?
We'll see. I'm not sure how many chips Lucky still has, but he does have a lot of burst damage, so it could still be very close.
Burst damage is the perfect word for it.
Ooh, burn square.
Ah!
And that will be a confirmed decross. And that was anti-recovery. At least it denied roll instead of the recovery 300s in hand.
Yes.
Then the ground man connects, doing 180 damage. Even with the recoveries, the HP is almost back to what it was. Ooh. Going into the red.
Yo, the sprite of that Scrap Reborn is always cool. That's a big smile.
Yeah, the sprites of Mega Man's Battle Network 6 in general is really good. I really like it. The design is very nice. Going into dust, trying to get the multiple hits from them. Okay, though the 2 recoveries coming out with Lucky, so now that brings him at, with this, over 1k HP difference.
Hey, the rocks!
And the golem hit does miss. So Lucky has a lot of elect chips, so going into Spout Cross and trying to go for charge shots with the Spout is very risky.
This HP difference is not looking good.
Yeah, if Lucky goes again for the combo that we've seen him use against Shadow or vs Eeveecario, then that could be enough for game. Very easily, just getting 2 hits. And yeah, this game has been going for quite a while. So it looks like, ooh, machine gun is that still kept the barrier.
Drill to the face.
Okay, so at least the Judgment does connect, doing 200 damage and a D-cross.
He's running very long on chips, but he can still uninstall him.
So this is the option between going into uninstall or for the golem hit. Okay, so it looks like the golem hit is starting with that just to get that mashed out. Basically confirm 250 damage. Ooh, he did avoid it.
Yo, those twinkle toes, man. What?
Ooh. And the machine gun. That did double hit though. Running out of chips to the last 5 chips.
Well, it's gonna be hard to hit him when he's down under the stage.
Okay, looks like Lucky is staying as ground cross. And there is 10 times the HP with Lucky. Ooh. If that connected fully, that would have been very bad. And Tengu Man misses completely.
He's gotta watch his aim.
Now
The last two
the
chips.
last 2 chips. Ooh, does connect. But there is still super armor because it's ground cross.
Oh yeah, that's true. And he now doesn't have any way to get rid of it now.
Okay, and the lack of HP, we're at turn 11. This could go into damage judge. Okay, back view, let's see if he has anything else. Trying to pulse it, there could be a luck pulse, there could be something coming out. So I believe if Lucky is able to survive, because he started with the lower HP, then he will win. Ooh, missing Muramasa. Again, Beast Jump, that would have hit if it wasn't for the Beast Jump AI. Let's see, turn 14, does Lucky have anything else? Doesn't look like it, and that's the game.
Yeah, I cannot believe that match got turned around like that. Can't believe it.
More than 1k HP difference, staying at 50 HP for I think 4 or 5 turns, and then surviving until the end to get a comeback. That was a very close game.
This makes me happy to be alive. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just impressed. Like seeing more people battling nowadays. Gets my blood going.
Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of new players coming in and a lot of new players doing very well as well. So it's always fun to see more players engaging and being on stream. So thank you everyone for watching and playing as well.
Yes, remember, it's very easy to join us. Very easy to join us at the N1GP Discord.
Yeah, just head into the N1GP Discord, and we have checked the welcome channel with all the guides you need to set up and everything. And glad
we also
you're enjoying it. All right, so for our final match of the day, it's going to be Salad vs Eeveecario.
Oh, the last match, yo. The pool parties are fun, but if you stay too long in a pool, you get all wrinkly. So, this is the last match.
All right, let's look at the folders. So, We've seen, I think they have the same Navicosts.
They actually do. You're right.
Yeah, okay, so the
The
Navicost
exact
mirror
same
match, but the folders are very different.
Yes. Solid's running good old meteors, M boomers, mock guns, air hockeys. Okay, like Solid's running uninstall for the risky honey.
Yeah.
That's scary. Again, getting stung by bees is bad enough. Getting stung by uninstalling bees is the worst.
Yeah, exactly. And bees are very good to use as a chip to counter the opponent. So if Salad is able to get that, then that is another way to confirm an uninstall and dealing a lot of damage as well.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And uninstall is very important because Salad's running the 3 air hockeys. So being able to land the uninstall will allow her to combo very much.
Yes. Air hockey is still air hockey is still a good chip. We see here that Eeveecario has 2 PAs, and both of them are PAs that I like using. We also see the uninstall L for the Elec Dragon and possibly a possible use for the Wave Arm.
Yeah, denying if throwing away the PA is worth it sometimes.
Yes, sometimes not using the whole PA might be better depending on your situation. It's gonna be nuts. But same Navi customizer and 2 different folders. It's time to see how it all ends.
Alright, let's head right into the final match.
Let's take a splash! Woo!
Okay. So they're starting with the conveyor panels again, and again there is the potential for getting panel lock if done correctly. And Salad's already starting with both fire traps, so it looks like she is going for toss turn 1 with barrier because she wants to try to go through the folder and put back the...
Oh no!
Ooh. And that is the panel lock. Oh, nice!
Oh right, it's a wood chip, so even if it doesn't make grass panels, it actually got rid of the conveyor belts.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Now Salad is locked behind broken panels. Ooh, and getting the machine gun.
That turned around against her so fast.
Yeah, exactly. And now Salad has chips that she doesn't want now stuck in hand. She doesn't want to get all the air hockeys this early because she wants to get them after the uninstall. She wants to try to get the confirmed hits because now the opponent can just walk out of them.
Yeah, that's the problem with a chip like air hockey. It's just not that good if they have super armor.
Judgment though, that will the broken panel will prevent the book from spawning.
Yes, and because there was a hole there. Oh wait, hold on.
Ooh, the element does hit, nice.
Panels only return if a book can spawn. So because a book cannot spawn, the panels are not being returned.
Yeah, and it looks like Salad took the anti-sword to just throw away because she knows that the anti-recovery is a lot more potential value. Okay, looks like Eeveecario is going to dust, but the machine guns are around, so we'll see. Ooh, getting D-class. And all of the Unboomer is missing, while the one Salad use does hit. Okay, so Salad really needs to go through the hand, but she wants to keep them. She wants to get the uninstall. And she is getting close to the optimal
panel
range
configuration.
for
Power wave!
Ooh, power wave, nice.
Finally hit.
After all the misses vs Neryth, finally a hit for power wave.
The
The
panel just returned.
yeah. using the new panel grab would have renewed the earlier area grabs or the panel grabs, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Okay, Solid very low on HP, but looks like she is going for the bees. Let's see if she managed to get that on a beast buster.
Whoa!
Ooh, on machine gun instead. That was nice, and then counter hit on the Muramasa to deny that.
That actually might kill. That did double damage.
I don't think it's quite enough. Yeah, still at 180 HP, and the fire burn for 1 HP.
Oh my gosh! I can't even form words to language.
I think Solid was still flashing, so Buster Shot wasn't quite enough. And now she has to mash. She has to mash the recovery random before a Buster Shot comes out. Ooh, okay, so she still survived. Barriers coming out from both sides. See if a back B. Okay. Ooh, nice. Solid using Beast chip charge, but unfortunately, ooh, nice. The recovery and then, I mean the barrier and then recovery coming out. And Solid still doesn't have the uninstall in hand, and their HP is getting very low. Looks like she is going for it anyway. Let's see if the machine gun.
Whoa!
Ooh, great! You're into a counter hit!
Oh, that counter hit.
And that was enough for game.
Yo, see my favorite Pokemon advance is getting spotlight. I am so giddy.
Nice. Yeah, that was good. I think so. This tournament might be the first time I see Great Hero being actually used, since it never gets used in normal BNs. It's always fun to see things like that being used and being used very well, getting the game again. First time vs Neryth and now vs Salad as well. Okay, both are going into dust. Let's see who gets the cube. Salad's playing it safe with going with the barrier. Okay, missed input, so she managed to get the cube from.
Whoa.
Ooh, looks like she gets almost a panel up. Oh, she gets the full panel up.
Power wave.
Ooh, power wave. That misses though.
Yeah, but those dang holes.
Yeah, the holes are really a strong counter to power wave, which is unfortunate.
And the main issue of this format, running air shoes is just too costly.
Yeah.
Like 5x5 is really restricted if you actually compare it to the full range.
Yeah. Like even normally when you want to run air shoes, you have to sacrifice HP, you have to sacrifice other things. But now in this format, like you basically, it's very difficult to get air shoes. Ooh, machine gun, and that does decross.
The very last hit decross. Watch out!
Ooh.
The end mover's coming! Move! He can't hear us! He's got AirPods! The M Boomer's coming right for the face, man.
I mean, Eeveecario was the one who used the M Boomer, so the M Boomer is going back for a hug instead of a hit. But Solid has her own M Boomer, so that one will go for the hit.
Whoa! Uninstall!
Ooh, and the uninstall coming out.
Yo, uninstall, anger. Only one hit though. Uh-oh, if this is Great Yo-Yo again, coming up, this is not gonna be good.
And yeah, I am losing my voice. These games have been really high.
Oh, I don't know if I can survive much longer, and I haven't even been in the pool party very long.
Okay, so it looks like Salad's going for the beast out to try to avoid the broken panels and Muramasa. Let's see if she managed to get that.
Are we gonna see Great Yo-Yo?
We do! And that
I knew it! See, Great Yo-Yo,
Getting
no
the
super armor. Oh my
finishing
god, man.
both games with Great Yo-Yo and then a second Great Yo-Yo 2x finish.
Told you, no super armor is just no super armor. No super armor is a death sentence.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you have someone running Great Yo-Yo. Great Yo-Yo just finishing all of these games.
Oh boy, man, that's how you make a splash in our first ever pool party.
Yeah, that was really fun. Oh, I really didn't expect Great Yo-Yo to see that much impact.
As a yo-yo player, I figured it was coming up. A Eeveecario, like Great Yo-Yo is fantastic.
You should have played in that week. You should have been the rep playing more presentation for the Great Yo-Yo, especially with how great it was with all of these games.
Unfortunately, I was fighting for freedom this week, so I will most likely enter the next pool party.
Ooh, nice. And speaking next week, so just quickly to go over how you can join for next week. So um, by joining the Discord, or if people are already in the Discord, you can do exclamation new moon in any of the channels, and that will send you the information. So the randomized poll for next week has already been published, and I think it has very interesting build options. It has very interesting things that you can go for. In particular, I really like that it has Neovari. That's one of my favorite chips, but also has Number Ball, and it has other things that could go with it. So that will be something I will be experimenting with.
Yo, you heard it here, folks. Like, you've seen it with your own eyes. If you're not joining us, join us. It's fun. It's easy to get into.
Yeah, it really is fun. That was a lot of fun. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Raja, for joining me in commentary. That was a lot of fun.
Sorry, I would have been here earlier, but I was trying to take over the world. I got stopped, so I thought, you know what?
I mean, you came in just as soon as the Great Yo-Yos came out, so the Great Yo-Yos were summoning you.
Yes,
You've been summoned.
I knew. I felt the call. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for all the participants. Thank you for Shadow for organizing the stream. I mean, for organizing the tournament and the new formats. And a huge shout out to Salad, who worked very hard on the stream layout, which looks very well. And for all the drawings that she and Uvu made.
Those drawings are great. Oh man! Even though it's game over for Chunkman with Sharkman right there.
And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.